I'm currently working on this page of Johanna Basford's Small Victories, and I kind of created a cabinet as a background to store the gem or crystal small jewelries. And this is so far I finished this line, and I will share with you guys how to create this cabinet first, and then tips on coloring crystal items. So I'll share how I created the background on a blank paper, and we need a pencil and a ruler and an eraser. I'll just draw a small one, just get the idea going. First, you create the box, a little square. Like in this picture, you'll create the border lines. This square will be the border lines for this page. And then on top of this line, you add a slightly longer line, and here as well. And just add another line and a slightly narrower one. Okay, so for this part, we will make a curve like this as the top, and we will do the same for the bottom one. And you can make this bottom one a little bit wider. Because the bottom is closer to us, so this can be a little bit thicker. And now we will erase the extra lines. And we will create the space, each small spaces. So this is our little cabinet. Now, to color this little cabinet thing, I use these 5 pencils. Prismacolor Premier 935, 1058, 1076, 1074, and 1083. We'll start with 1083 and we'll color the whole cabinet. And after we covered this whole cabinet with our base color 1083, we'll start using a slightly darker color 1074, 7% French gray, and to add more layers. And then we'll use a darker color 90% French gray 1073 to add a more darker layer. Cover less space than before. Basically, this layer is to enhance and emphasize the border lines. And then we get to the each individual space and show how I created this space. To make it look like a more three-dimensional. So after we draw this space, we will start with 1083 again. I need to sharpen this. Okay, we'll cover the surrounding areas with 183 first. And then we go to 1074. And 1076. And we'll use 1083 again to make the outside part a little bit lighter. And for this inside square, the color is darker, so I used 90% warm gray, 1058. I want to make this area even darker, and then add the black color 935 to it. So that in the crystal or the gemstone will pop with this dark background. This is how I created this little space, and with the gemstone it looks like this. I mean, with the crystal little jewelries. Now that we finished another background, so let's start coloring the crystal jewelries. And I looked up some reference photos to learn the texture of the crystals And we'll look closely, and we'll see for these gems or crystals, it has a very bright color, like the highlight, and some, the medium color, like a purple and pink, red, green, the lighter shade of green, and then we have some darker shade as well. And usually it's at the border, and the see at the this round shaped gemstone, and at the border, and it's the color is darker. So in order to color the crystal or the gemstone, we are gonna need for each color, we're gonna need at least 3 pencils. Now I want to color these flowers pink. So I used the Faber-Castell Black Edition and chose the 3 pencils for this one. It's number 7112, 704, and 717. Again, we'll start with the lightest color. We'll leave some white space on top as some highlight. And then we switch to 717. This is a darker shade of pink. And because it's transparent and the background is black, so we can add some black. And now we use a gel pen to add some white highlight. This is the gel pen. Now we move on to the leaves. I'm gonna use the 3 colors from Caran d'Ache, number 470, 222, and 739. And remember to leave some white space for the highlight. Whenever you think, oh, this item is receiving more light, and then you can leave that as your highlight / white space. And remember, this is not a real leaf, it's a jewelry. So the way it is shaped and the way it reflects the light is different from a real leaf. And for something that's transparent like a glass or very shiny, smooth surface like a metal, there is always a very strong contrast between light and shadow. So, I mean, lighter color, highlight, and the shadow color. For this flower, I want to make it a blue flower, so chose some blue shades, and this is a soft pastel. I'm just experimenting different pencils. Really, you can just choose any shade of any brand pencils. Just choose lighter color, medium color, and darker color, so that'll be fine. And this is a pastel pencils are very soft, so now I'm gonna add some highlight. And now we move to the leaves, and still these three Caran d'Ache green colors, 470 to 22 and 739. Now we move to this one. I want to make it red flower, so I chose these three shades of red. So one is an orangey red, it's Caran d'Ache 850, 70, and 585. Well, again, we'll start with the lightest color. And then we use number 070 to sharpen it. And then we move on to our darkest red 585. Oops. I want to make it even darker, so I'm using a black pencil for some spots. I want to make this area darker because you see how densely they are next to each other. There will be some lack of light over here, so it's gonna be a little bit darker on this area. And then we'll add our highlights. And where to add the highlights, it's really up to you how you see this thing, how you think, oh, this spot is receiving some light, more light than the other spots, and then there's a highlight. Just need to be consistent with your light source. Then for the center, I'll just make a yellow color then. Use brown colored, some shadows, and add our highlight. This gel pen is really unpredictable. All right, that's our red jewelry. It took me a couple days, but I'm glad it's finished. Man, when I first started this, I didn't know what I got myself into because there's a lot of details, but I'm happy with the result.
Bye bye.